Welcome back to the Northern Buzz podcast. I'm Chloe Waterhouse.
And I'm Sam Millward.
And today we're going to talk about all things marketing when it comes to quarter one for your hospitality brand.
Why is Q1 in particular different to the other quarters in the year?
So a lot of the time in quarter one, businesses will either think that they're failing because they're not busy or use quarter one and their quiet period as a space to kind of understand what they can do throughout the rest of the year. With Q1, a lot of brands that do well already pre-plan this in Q4. So before Christmas, I was getting paid ads through for restaurants and cafes, hotels with their January offers already on.
Okay, nice.
Because you're warming up that audience. People have already had their Christmas meals. You don't need to market to them again for another Christmas meal because they've been for one. But I think as well, like, they already know what offers they're going to do. They already know what stock, like we said a while ago. They already know what stock they're going to have for January. And yeah, they run their offers based on when they historically already know when their quiet periods are.
So you just said there about places maybe not necessarily being busy in Jan, but maybe you can use the time to experiment for the year ahead. What could they experiment with the year ahead for? Maybe what's an example that you've seen that maybe a restaurant hasn't done before but they've tried out in Jan? Or what could an idea be for a business?
Okay, so I'd probably say first things to experiment with and just look at would be the customer journey, the customer flow from going on the website to booking a table, okay, to the, not like the aftercare, but to like the follow-up process as well. Run the process through as if you were a customer for different occasions, for different days of the week, for different offers and things like that. So say, for example, I'm booking for a girls' night because my best friend just got a job promotion or she's starting a new job in January, which a lot of people do. Go through your booking system, go on your website. Is it easy to find where to book a table? Is it easy to view the menu? Are the call to action buttons below the menu? Or, you know, is it a downloadable PDF or is it a scroll through with different sections which you click a plus or a minus on? And understand what is better for your audience to then convert them into booking.
I think that's a good shout. So the whole website thing, I've had this recently where the restaurant that I went to has different areas in the restaurant, and I knew that I wanted to sit in a particular area, but when you go through Google to make a booking, like, it shows you the separate options but it's not obvious, and then when you go on the website it shows you different options but again it's not obvious. There's no pictures of the different areas, but then they're also called different things to Google. Yeah. So I had to call up to ask, but then the answer that the person gave me, like, I said, well, Google says this and that, so which one means this area? Yeah. She was like, well, that one would be that area. So when I clicked on that one, and it took me through to then the website where I put some more details in, it takes a card deposit. The information that it was then displaying me on the website contradicts what the woman said. Yeah. So
and it becomes confusing.
It was really, and that would be a reason for someone not to book a table.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh God.
If something seems too complicated, like, you have to remember a lot of people today are lazy. Like, you've got everything at your fingertips. You've got next day delivery on Amazon. I'm not going to be there faffing around with a booking system that I don't understand, that takes too long, that I've got to put a car detail in, then I've got to do this, and then there's too many steps.
Oh, should we just go there instead?
Exactly. Like, it's, we'll just go to somewhere I've been before and I know how it works and it's really easy and plain and simple. So what you want to do is remove those blockers. Say, for example, you know, you've got booking systems, especially for like ticketed venues as well. So say, for example, you're an entertainment brand and you have a show on, I don't know, let's just say Disney on Ice. If you're booking for Disney on Ice, and then it takes you from the Disney on Ice page to a ticketing platform, which then takes you to, I don't know, WorldPay or another payment platform like PayPal, then it takes you somewhere else. It's losing trust at every single step because you're like, well, who am I actually sending this money to? Because it could be anybody. Like, anyone can just set up a payment link and pose as someone else.
What's the crack?
But yeah, slightly a bit of a tangent. But bringing it back to kind of like making sure that your website's working, definitely go through the flow of what you want to do yourself. Make sure that your links work, that they don't go to different places as well on your website. Sometimes it happens, you know, you might have view menu or view set menu and it takes you to events. Well, I haven't clicked that. And then you're trying to get there and you try so much that you then just give up. When you're booking, make sure, you know, does it say dining room only available, or does it say any table available, or is there I don't know, for example, in the Ivy you can book like the dining room, or you can book Ivy Asia or something like that. Is it the specific place where they're wanting to book, or do they just, I don't know, you can sit wherever you want and you end up at a bar table and you didn't want that?
I reckon there's something to be said for maybe getting like friends and family to go through that process, because I know myself, if I've created something in the past or I've been working on something, you almost assume that other people know things or would think in the same way you would do. So like what I'm saying is, you don't know what you don't know, so you don't know what problems someone might have. What is obvious to you might not be obvious to someone else.
Yeah.
You might think it's laid out in a really good way, so you're going to miss things.
Exactly.
And it's something to be said for maybe getting other people to use
100%.
that are detached from your brain.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as well, something that we spoke about earlier on was, I know you're very heavily about your margins and your profit margins. Say, for example, in January, you've got a 30% off offer, but you then don't know when you're going to be busy with like your labour costs and things like that. It could also be an idea to, say if one of your customers is redeeming an offer, to have a section where it says, are you redeeming an offer? And it's yes, which one? So then you know exactly like how much extra staff to put on or how much to reduce it by, to make sure that you're still getting those 70% profit margins.
Explain that to me again.
So say, for example, at the time of booking, so you'll see sometimes on terms and conditions of offers, 30% off at the time of booking.
Yeah.
If I go and just book it and then I say, oh, well, it said 30% off on the menu, and it's like, oh, well, you've not actually put that in and we didn't realise you were booking for the deal.
Understand.
You're not entitled to that discount.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a touchy one because, you know, it might piss someone off a lot. But if you, I suppose it helps with like the business side of things, where someone could almost be like, right, okay, guys, we've got majority of our bookings tonight are 30% off bookings. We're going to reduce staff by this much because we need to make sure that our profit margins are this much, or we're going to take this off the menu because they can claim 30% on it. Would not a little white lie. Oh, sorry, we've not got that on the menu tonight. We've just got these available.
I think with that, if you do reduce your staff down, the thing that comes to mind for me is how people feel not being affected. So I think you can still, with the staff that you have on, hammer home the things are important in terms of what the customer would see as important.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think wait time for things getting to the table not being that important.
Okay.
Just my opinion. I think like how long from ordering something that it takes to come out, if it's delayed an extra 15 minutes or something, I don't think that's a deal breaker. But I think people feeling like they're being looked after and it's they're made to feel nice and the name's remembered and orders are taken quickly and whatnot. I don't think other things getting delayed because there's less staff on matters. I think it's how the person's treated.
Yeah. I mean, it's just those extra steps, I suppose, to almost manage what's going on with the business though. So it just helps set up expectations of what our bookings are going to be. So say for example, I had a restaurant and I knew, right, okay, tonight we've got one birthday party in which is a table of 8. We really want to treat them like, not like VIPs, not like you would do with other customers, but it's a very special occasion. You've got a bigger table. They're more likely to A, tip, B, bring in a cake. Okay, can we light it up? Can we give someone a drink at the end of the meal and we're waiting for that person to order another drink? So can we ask everybody else on the table, can we get you lot a drink as well? You've just sold 7 more drinks. It's those little things that can almost set up expectations for the rest of your staff, and like it's a difficult one to explain, but hopefully I'm making a little bit of sense.
No, you are. I think
with
like
it.
because you know those things are happening during the night, it's almost like trying to play them out before they happen so that everyone knows what the script is.
Yeah, exactly
But
that.
still coming across in a natural way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like these are the situations that we want to capitalise on, that we know we want to get right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it now so that we do get it right when it actually happens,
Yeah.
rather than just winging it and going,
Yeah.
someone's birthday's in, blah, 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 this is what's happening during the night, but then not talking about, well, how do we want that to go? Like, what's an ideal scenario? Yeah, I think that's good.
I think as well, like just going, I know I keep going on about this like tiny section of a booking flow, but mentioning that you've booked for a discount, you can then also tell your staff, right guys, we really need to upsell specific items this evening to make sure we're increasing the profits on products. Not increasing profits on products, but increasing the profits overall and the amount of items that we're selling.
Yeah, fair.
It's just a little...
There's little extras, like, I should get you some this for an extra.
Yeah, and as a customer, you won't really think anything about it, but then as a business, it could be very important. But yeah, like even going through to like the checkout section, okay, you put your card details in, they're safe and secure. Do they then get a follow-up email to say that your table's been booked, an SMS message? Because you can collect their email from it, their text message number, their mobile number, and
cell phone number.
Cell phone? Can I get your cell? You can get their email, phone number. You can send them SMS messages, and then also email marketing messages throughout the year then as well. Just making sure that it's all set up correctly. Is it a case of like, oh, actually, we've realised they have to have their email address, but they don't have to put their phone number? Could it be a case of, no, we need both, and that one tweak when you've got a deal on or an offer or you want to treat a customer gets a SMS message and they're more likely to look at that than their email address.
Very true.
So it's just thinking about things that way.
So I know that what we are trying to achieve is to highlight the things that are important to business owners that maybe they're not naturally thinking about at the moment. So you've mentioned already that the most successful business owners and businesses have already planned for these things almost, right? So we want to help the people that maybe that doesn't come natural to thinking about. So for a business owner that maybe hasn't planned for their Q1 now, obviously we are now in Q1. What should that person do? How should that person look at that? Okay,
so there's a few things that you can do, but what I would start off by doing is looking at key calendar dates and seasonal themes that are happening soon, but also within like the next 2 to 3 months. So say, for example, today is the 5th of January. Okay, well, we've missed New Year's Day, so you don't need to think about New Year's Day. It's something that you can look at in Q4 next year. But what you can start looking at is like, right, okay, we've got Blue Monday coming up, which I think is like the 19th of January. And that might not need a whole marketing campaign around it. That could be a very simple email marketing and organic social media post about the first 50 customers get a free blue cocktail. I don't know, something along those lines.
I forgot that was even a thing. So like that shows how much marketing I actually consume about Blue Monday. It's actually it's quite a cool niche that people should probably jump on a bit more.
But even things like coffee shops, for example, you know how matcha's all the rage, there's strawberry matcha. What about a blueberry dash for free in your matcha on Blue Monday? It's, you're upselling someone. Like you probably charge like 50p for the syrup. If it's for free, think about how many people are actually going to come in to pay for your matcha, which has already got quite a good profit margin, I'd hope. So it's just little things like that. But then with the bigger dates, such as Galentine's Day and Valentine's Day, you can start pre-planning those straight away. Like that is what I'd say, start planning right now. Don't do anything, drop what you're doing and start planning it now.
Talk to me about Galentine's Day for a start, because I didn't know that was a thing.
So Galentine's Day is for the girls who don't celebrate Valentine's Day because they don't have a partner. But the girls will get together and they will celebrate each other. They'll be like, woo, let's go out for drinks and cocktails and dress up really nice. And
naively, is that the same day as Valentine's Day?
It's the day before.
Day before.
So there's 2 separate days. Galentine's is the 13th of February. And then Valentine's 14th of February. I I don't know whether or not this week, is it? I'm sure Valentine's Day this year is on a Saturday.
Okay. Wow.
So
Okay.
if you think Friday, Saturday, they're quite big dates. People will be celebrating across the weekend as well. People, don't forget that people who might have shift work, who normally celebrate Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day, might move their date. So maybe doing like a week-long campaign like Galentine's Week or Valentine's Week. Target it slightly differently. Maybe there's a Galentine's package where it's all, I don't know, it's pink and pretty, and there's love heart cocktails, and I don't know, you get a free pack of love heart things with every cocktail that you order. Or when your bill arrives, you get some love hearts. It's like aesthetic things that girls love to take pictures of, love to get dressed up for. But you want to be marketing that as soon as possible, because people make decisions on whether or not they're staying in for Galentine's or Valentine's, whether or not they want to go out, book a weekend away somewhere, or understand their budgets for the weekend, really.
I think that, like, talking about these topics, what it highlights to me as someone who doesn't naturally think about that kind of thing is that there are so many different dates in the year that people don't naturally think about. Like we just mentioned, like naively to me, I didn't know what Galentine's Day was, but obviously it's a big thing. Same as like Blue Monday, I've heard of before, but I couldn't tell you what date it was. So there's probably so many of these things every month that is an opportunity for a different marketing campaign and
100%.
a different form of messaging that people don't naturally think about if they have my mindset and, you know, they're not a natural marketer. Like if they're trying to just do things themselves based on what's in their head, they're not capitalising on all the other things that other people not in their heads also know about.
Yeah, but it's even for things like some months have a seasonal theme or trend. So say, for example, January, you've got Veganuary and Dry Jan. A little simple thing like, okay, we've got a brand new vegan set menu which we're offering throughout January for X amount. Or, okay, Dry Jan, don't miss out. It's this whole concept of like, we still want you to join us, but you don't have to drink for it. We've got these brand new mocktails and they're all 50% off for Dry Jan. You're getting those people in. Yeah, you might be losing a little bit of profit on your drinks, but people are coming in and buying your food. And it's just other things so that people aren't missing out. It's not all about the alcohol. It's not all about, oh yeah, we've got steaks and things like that. I know that if you're a steak restaurant, you're probably going to go for a steak. But say, for example, you've got, steak. I don't know, cauliflower steak. It's those things that you can really tap into, because just because one person's doing it doesn't mean someone else is. For example, my dad's vegetarian.
Okay.
I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not doing Veganuary. He might decide, actually, I'm not going to be vegetarian this month. I'm going to go vegan. And we both want to go out for a meal. If there's somewhere that offers both, you're getting both of us in.
I like the bothness to it. Like the last time I went out for food, one of the dishes that I had was actually like a tofu dish, which I wouldn't normally go for.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, should we just try it? Because it actually sounds quite nice.
Yeah.
It was banging.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
It is. They are really nice. But like, it's like mac and cheese and things like that. You're like, everyone loves a mac and cheese. But again, I know it's not vegan, but it's vegetarian. It's those things that can be available for both. As well, just to go back into about like the tapping into seasonal themes and trends, is everyone, I don't know whether you like whether you go to the gym in January, it's hell in there. Hellish. Everyone's signed up because they're on a health kick. Right, I'm going to lose weight this year. I'm going to get stronger this year, fitter this year, whatever. And again, people don't want to miss out on going out for meals with friends and things like that. And if you've got an offer on, but there's no menu really for people that are on a health kick, like, okay, here's a set menu for under 1,000 calories where you're getting a starter, main and dessert, it's putting those people off because it's like, oh, I can't eat out because it's too unhealthy. But if you're tailoring to those seasonal trends and things that are going on, it's just another way of getting people through the door. So say, for example, like Bondi Bowls is the, like, I don't know, like just different bowls of what they do.
Yeah.
They could have 3 special bowls that they've got going on. One less than 500, one less than 600, one less than 800 calories. And each one of those could pull someone through the door, but then also get the person with their friends or with their partner to also come through the door as well.
Something that just sprung to mind then, as well as the calorie breakdown, is that because you mentioned Bondi Bowl, I know one thing that Bondi Bowl do is like break down the macro nutrients as well. So from when I've gone through kicks of really breaking down and tracking my macros, eating out becomes a chore, not because of the calorie content, but because of how you actually like, or what I'm meant to do, bring a scale with me and weigh everything. So because I'm tracking my macros, so I might put a barrier up to going somewhere because it's too much of a pain in the arse to then track. What am I meant to do? But if someone, created a specific menu and all of a sudden broke down the nutritional element to it and whatnot, you were like, oh my God, yes. Yeah. It's amazing.
But I think as well, like that's also a marketing campaign in itself, because someone who's on that health kick looking for those macros, they're going to choose a place over a place that doesn't do it
100%.
when it's tailored to them. So it feels like, oh, actually they really care about what's going on as well.
Yeah.
And you never know, it might be one of the best menus that you create and you get all the health junkies coming through and doing that. So it's definitely something to consider, is like making sure that you understand what's going on, what seasonal trends and themes there are and key dates, because I know I've mentioned Blue Monday, Valentine's, Galentine's.
Yeah.
You've then got like St. Patrick's Day. You've got British Pie Week, for example, which no one really knows about, which is in March. And it's like, right, okay.
You celebrate that every year.
Oh, I love pie. But no, I don't celebrate British Pie Week. But it's like, could you have a week of deals on different flavoured pies? Like, do some wacky pies. I don't know. Like, I don't know whether you consider rag pudding as a pie, but like steak and kidney pie. Right, okay. On a Monday, that's £10 with chips. Tuesday, we've got fish pie, and then, you've got...
If it was shoved down my throat enough, I'd probably take part in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't think of these things.
No. But then think about who's coming for those pies. Like, typically, is it going to be your older men that have just finished a day's graft and they want a beer and some pie?
Tradie.
Or is it like, okay, actually, we've got, I don't know, like a nice pie dessert, like apple pie.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, apple pie desserts are our specialty for this week. It's just understanding what's going on and how you can make an awareness around those things, I suppose. But then not forgetting about Mother's Day, which is also in March. And then, I think I said St. Patrick's Day as well. And then with St. Patrick's Day, you need to pre-order your St. Patrick's Day merch from wherever you're ordering your alcohol from. So I think it's like, is it Carlsberg?
I don't know.
I have no idea. But yeah, you need to pre-order your merch, and then you can say, guys, come down early, get your merch, what have you. And sort it out that way.
Okay, so we've mentioned all of these key dates in Q1. How should I, as a business owner, get people booked on for these dates?
So there's a couple of things you can do, and it depends whether or not you've got an audience already, or if you're a brand new restaurant, hospitality venue, or you've never thought about capturing data. So if we're starting as a business which doesn't have anything, the first things that I would say to do is set up your software which is actually going to capture your data. So you can even start on something like Google Forms, which is free. But what I would try and do is integrate it into a booking system where you're asking for an email and asking them to opt in, or asking them to opt out. So when they sign up, I don't know whether or not you've seen it recently, where it's like, click this box if you do not want emails.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're automatically opted in. It's up to you which one you think would work best. I see positives and negatives to both. A lot of the time, people sign up and they won't unsubscribe, but some people just unsubscribe straight away, and you piss them off a bit more. So I'd integrate that within your booking system for when someone books. But say, for example, someone isn't quite there yet and doesn't want to book just yet, and they're a little bit unsure about what you are, and they need to be pushed over the line to book. You could have an offer on where it's like, if you sign up, you get 10% off your first bill, or sign up, you get a free drink on arrival, those type of things, to capture data. But you do need to incentivize people to give you their data, because that's precious to them.
Yeah.
It's very rare that I would just sign up for something unless I was getting something in return. So, I mean, for my business, I sign up for free e-guides and things like that, and it's just a little something that they say. It could be sign up and you get a free upgrade to a different table or a booth or something like that for a special occasion. There's a few different ways that you can go about doing it.
okay, so rather than talking on the data capture side of things, say like I want to implement that as well, is there anything else or anyone else or any other forms of communication I could be trying to use while I also try to capture data as well? If I'm thinking about those certain times in Q1, like what else could I be doing?
Yeah, definitely. So there's things like media partners. So one of the big ones, which I've seen, I think it was just a couple of days ago, was Manchester's Finest. They've written off a whole blog post about where you can find January deals in Manchester, and they've listed each one. So for example, Phoenix, 30% off, the times and dates that it's available, Louis, times and dates available, and then even like Diecast, 40% off Wednesday to Friday, I think it was, until 4 p.m. or 4 till 7 p.m. And as a customer, you can go through and see which ones are which. You can then hyperlink that to your page, to your Instagram, to your website, to your bookings, so that people can book direct, or they can find out a bit more information about you.
So leveraging other people's like audiences.
Yeah, leveraging other people's audiences. You could even ask micro-influencers, content creators, and people who like to share what they're up to. They can even say like, guys, I'm going and trying this new deal out. During X, Y, and Z, you can get 50% off, 50% off starters. Or if you go during this period, you get a free cocktail. So they can also share those deals and offers with you.
So let's say I think that's a good idea. And obviously a lot of what we consume as people, as businesses, is influenced by others. And we consume a lot of content. Let's say I think that's a really good idea, but I don't know any influencers or micro-influencers. Where do I go to even reach out to those people to look at that as an avenue?
I would say go on TikTok or Instagram and type in must visit restaurants in your area, or restaurants in your area. See which people are creating the content around that and just reach out to them and say, hi guys, really like your video. Would you be interested in collaborating with our restaurant?
Like based on the engagement that they're getting on there.
Based on the engagement, but also based on the actual output of content. So sometimes people might work with an influencer because they want to tap into their audience. But then if you've got a micro influencer or a content creator who's going to give you more video footage, more photographs, you can then repurpose that into your paid ads and things like that, which might be better in the long run compared to one post from an influencer, for example. I'd say as well, just double check on their actual engagement. A lot of influencers that you think, oh wow, yeah, they've got 5,000 likes. It's like, yeah, but they've only got 1,000 views on the video. It doesn't really make sense. So making sure that it adds up, making sure that their audience is actually engaged compared to what you think it might be, is definitely something to consider. Just before you say, I'd also say as well, run a paid ads campaign with your offer. I'm not a paid ad specialist, so I'm not going to go into it too much, but I do know that it works for brands. I see them a lot on my Facebook, my Instagram, with offers that are going on with Book Now, and they're all very different omni-content campaigns. So I might get a piece which is like 30% off for lunch because, I don't know, for some reason, Meta knows that I like going out for lunch. You talk about a Hoover and you're like, what the hell, why have I got a Hoover coming up on my ads? But yeah, making sure like you're running ads as well could be another avenue to generate awareness about what it is that you've got on and about your business.
So the thing that I was thinking of then is circling back to maybe the data that you already have. Do you think that there's a best way to communicate with people to get them booked on, or to reach out to them and whatnot? Like what? So let's say I've got 1,000 email addresses and whatnot. How should I look at those email addresses or numbers? Should I use the numbers or should I use the email addresses? Like, what should I do and what's a don't?
There's not necessarily do's and don'ts. I think marketing as a whole is an ecosystem. So you need to look at each thing as a cog that works together in your overall marketing process. You can't just do email marketing. You can't just do organic social. You need a bit of everything, if I'm honest. I'd say if you were looking more specifically at your email marketing, segmenting your audience and analyze the geography of where your audience is coming from. So say, for example, you've got a midweek offer on and someone from Nottingham has travelled up to Manchester for the Christmas markets, stayed overnight and booked your restaurant. They're not going to book for your midweek offer that ends at 5 p.m. because they'll be in work 9 to 5. But sending them something like book now for Valentine's Day might be more general to them because they could have visited Manchester last time with their partner, or maybe they're coming up with the girls for Valentine's Day. And it's segmenting your audience in a way that makes you money, not just sends out a message to everybody that doesn't feel relevant.
So do you think then, like, so in my head then,
Yeah.
I was like, well, what's the harm in sending, if you're going to create an email to send and you know that there's only a type of person that would relate to, what's the harm in sending that email to everyone anyway?
The harm is the rate in which it gets delivered.
Okay.
Because if it's not being opened, you might get a bigger bounce rate, you might get a spam complaint rate, you might get an unsubscribe rate because it's not relevant for them. And we want to keep the audience ultimately. But if it feels like it's not relevant for them, it's not going to be relevant for them.
And then maybe emails that they receive in the future that maybe are relevant to them, they're going to pay less attention to them because it's going to feel spammy.
Exactly. So yeah, you want to segment it like that, but you also want to segment it into how engaged they are as a subscriber. So you can track things like open rates. So are they opening your email? When was the last time they opened one of your emails? When was the last time they visited your website? Did they start checking out on the booking system, or have they ever been on your website? Because someone who's highly engaged might be within the last 30 days of taking an action or done something, but then it goes less and less to the 60 day, to the 90 day. And the people that are in like that 30 day, 60 day, 90 day, they're the audience which are more likely to convert because you can see by their actions, like they're doing something, but is there something that you can do to just get them crossing that line? Again, like past bookers who've already booked on, who've already been to your hotel, your hospitality business, is there something different that you can do for them as well? So
I've seen it before. So when someone mentions segmentation to me in hospitality, the main area that I've seen it in is where people segment customers based on how much they've spent with them in the past. Because you might, if you know a particular person or group of people, when they come, their average spend is a lot higher, or they just have spent more in the past, you might want to offer that person a discount that you wouldn't offer someone else and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
I think that's quite smart.
Yeah, there's definitely things you can look at with that, but it's also a case of, right, okay, this customer's coming back, they've booked back in, this is the third time them joining us. Can we make their experience even more tailored to them? Just from oh guys, here's a welcome drink, just something nice that makes them think, God, we always get such nice service here. Like I was watching, I can't remember what it was. It was a hotel in London, and it was about like this hotel at Christmas. And they said, oh, these guys book every Christmas, they've come back, so we want to make sure it's extra special. So what we've done is we've laid out their favourite like chocolates on the bed, which we asked them about last time when they were here, and we've even put like in the minibar, like they've not paid for it, but well, they will be paying for it if they drink it. We've even put in the minibar their favourite bottle of champagne, which they shared on their anniversary when they booked 2 years ago. It's those little things that show, wow, okay, actually. Little surprises, but it's just a bit more tailored, because if you know that they're going to spend more money and they're going to come back and they're going to recommend you, then yeah, why wouldn't you?
So obviously we're in Q1 now. If I am a restaurant owner, that hospitality business owner that hasn't been happy with my Q1s in the past, I know I should be doing more on the marketing front, but I just haven't just yet. What are 3 either takeaways or action points that I could take now that isn't going to feel overwhelming to me, but is going to make my Q1 the best Q1 I've had?
Okay, so the first thing I would say to do is look at what offers deals, midweek set menus have performed the best throughout the rest of the year.
Okay, so not just things I've done in Q1.
No, not just things in Q1.
Yeah.
You know, you might have had a set menu which performed really well because you had two courses for £20. Consider putting that as an offer because it clearly converts people.
Yeah, it worked.
So look at what you've done in the past that has worked. Use that data. You've already trialed and tested it. Why are you not using the information that you've got from that campaign?
Yeah.
to guide you for Q1, Q2, Q3, etc. in the next year. I'd probably say as another action point is to actually think about upcoming events which are happening in Q1, but also early Q2 as well. Easter this year is very early on. It's the first weekend in April rather than in the middle. Okay. But then you've also got April Fool's Day a couple of days before it. There's just little things that you need to consider doing for then, and making sure that you've got your menus sorted in advance. You've got your pricing done for your menus. You've got your offers on for those. You know, are you doing a week-long campaign for Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day? Are you doing special events for Mother's Day, for example, as well?
Those events then coming up in either Q1 or like early Q2, and the campaigns that you mentioned, how early in advance of those dates should I maybe be sending out some targeted email stuff?
It depends on the campaign, and it depends on the event. So, for example, Mother's Day, you need to start planning it 6 weeks in advance if you can, okay, just so then you can warm up your audience gently, but you should have a warmer audience from the other campaigns that you've been doing. So say, for example, on Blue Monday, you just send out an e-blast or a social media post where if you comment whatever, we'll give you, I don't know, a free blue cocktail. Mm-hmm. You're warming the audience up with already being engaged. You then know which audiences are going to go into like your 30, 60 and 90 day okay, engagement list. So you know who to send it to. But ideally, like Valentine's Day, a lot of people think when it starts in February, oh, right, let's think about it. But really you need to start in campaign maybe like 2 weeks before that, so people can start thinking about it a little bit more. And then when it feels like it's their time to make that decision, they already have in their head, oh, I've been meaning to try this place, we should probably go there. It's the same for when people want to do, you know, the January offers. Say, for example, they didn't come to your venue in November, December for Christmas. It was a consideration. They still want to try somewhere new, but they're not actively searching for somewhere new to go. They're thinking, oh, actually, I've been meaning to go to that place for ages. They're already familiar with who you are. It's a case of making them familiar with what offers are going on, with the seasonal theme or, you know, key date that's happening. So yeah, I'd definitely say at least 4 weeks before start marketing it, but start thinking about it 6 weeks before if you can, so that you're prepped and planned. So that you can just hit the ground running at that 4 week point. Yeah. Mainly because, say you've got an afternoon tea, for example, right, we're going to do an afternoon tea, we need to market it. Okay, have you got your email marketing plan written down to a T? Have you got your graphics done for it? Have you got a campaign photo shoot of mothers and daughters, sons and mothers, or what have you, ready to use as your marketing material for those key dates? Because if you've not, then you're already slightly behind if you think about it 2 weeks before. Was there a final point? And a final point would be start collecting data, because you're building your own audience up then, and you're not relying on Meta, because technically if you think about it, you're building an audience up on Instagram. It's great, but it's the audience that's on Instagram. Whereas if you're collecting data, it doesn't matter what platform you go on, you've got their email, you've got their phone number, you're able to get in touch with them directly. A lot of people have social media detoxes and things like that, but they'll check their emails, they'll check their phones, they need to stay in contact with people. So it's definitely something to consider, is having a data capture place. Yeah. So that's what I'd say my 3 key takeaways would be. Nice one. Thank you. Amazing. Okay. I'm going to wrap it up. I was going to say. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode about marketing for Q1. Please let us know if there's anything that you'd like us to touch on in the next episode. In our next episode, we'll be talking about finance and all things profitability with Sam. Thanks, guys. And as always, please let us know your biggest takeaway from this episode, and then anything that you've heard from this episode that maybe you relate to, or anything maybe that we haven't mentioned as well, like any problems that you have in your marketing that you want us to touch on in later episodes, or just bounce us a question and we'll come back to you on it. Because when you instill all those habits, that's how you can compete with the businesses that have been around. It's obviously working for them because they have been around for so long. They're obviously successful. So we want to instill those habits in more independent restaurants and the people that don't naturally think about those things. And as always, Make sure that you like and subscribe to our YouTube and Spotify, and join us over on Instagram, TikTok and LinkedIn to join the Northern Buzz community. We'll be hosting regular events with a panel talk coming up very soon, as well as networking events and sharing newsletters and e-guides over on our emailing newsletters.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.